Hey everyone, and welcome back to another modix video. Today I'm showing you the best settings you need to be using if you want to achieve max FPS in Valorant. I'm running around right now to show you guys my crosshair as well because I had a few people asking what my crosshair settings were, and we're going to be talking about that at the end of the video. You can also pay attention to the mini map because we're showing you how to not have just part of your map showing. So let's get right into these settings. So to start, we're loading it up. We have the general page. We're going over to enemy highlight color. A ton of players don't change this and they have the red enemy color, but I would recommend changing this to purple or yellow because it helps enemies stand out. And if you can see the enemies easier, then it's a setting that you want to have. So go ahead and change that color. Moving on to mouse sensitivity, you guys will have to find your own sensitivity. I've made videos on this in the past, so feel free to go check out my past videos and see if you can figure out it there. But just in short, you can go into the shooting range, shoot at the bots, and find the best setting for you. Then with the mini map, a ton of players like the mini map zoomed in, and that just hurts you in the end. So first of all, we want it to rotate because as you can see, we're able to just rotate the mini map with us. So like if I'm going over here, it's like to my right, then you guys, it's rotating. You guys understand that. Keep players centered. You will want this setting off because if you have it on, you see we cannot see all of the map. So I would recommend keeping it off. As for minimap size, it's basically all preference. You don't really want it that big. I don't believe like you guys can see it adjusting right now, but I recommend just putting it at 1. And then minimap zoom, you don't want to zoom it in because once again, there are times where you can't see all of the map. So I would recommend sticking it at 0.9. That's probably the best you can do. And then minimap vision cones, put that on because it allows you to check what areas your teammates are playing and like looking at. So if a teammate's watching short and they don't have comms, you can just look at your minimap and see the vision cones, and that's going to help you out. Now with the other settings, we're going to kind of skip all these except show map regions names. I would recommend having this always on because as you can see below the minimap, it says I'm in a site. Maybe I forgot to call it over here. It's a tree because I can figure that out. Going back over here, we want show mature content on. It's not that mature. It shouldn't be a problem. Just turn this setting on because then we can talk about show corpses and show blood. I would recommend showing the corpses off because it's going to put it into that holographic view that I know a ton of you guys have been asking for. So do that, and then also show blood. I recommend showing the blood because I mean it's not graphic-y at all. Like it's not real blood, but it's gonna allow you to see whenever you're hitting those headshots. So that's why I really like it. And then all these other things are just up to you. If you don't want to see players spectating you, you can come ahead and turn this off, but I don't really care that much. Now moving on, let's talk about the video settings. So for general, just the display mode, we want full screen. It's going to give us the best FPS, so just set it to full screen. As for the resolution, choose the resolution for your monitor. You're going to be able to see hertz over here as well. So if you have a 144 hertz monitor, you're going to see it here. Don't try to go and like limit it. Don't put it at 12, 10, whatever numbers that is. Just do it to your default monitor resolution because it's going to help a lot. As you can see, you can choose your monitor right here. I went ahead and chose the one that I'm playing on. That's all you need to do here. Next, we do not want to limit any FPS. See, just turn those off because we want max FPS in the game. Max FPS always. I set it to 300 because I'm probably not going above that, but you could set it to whatever you think you want it to be. It's just up to you. Moving on to graphics quality, right? I recommend putting multi-threaded rendering on because this enables multi-threaded rendering for better performance on powerful machines, provides largest benefit with a fast GPU and extra CPU cores. Just turn it on. As for video like graphics quality, you can turn these all to low. I prefer medium because it just looks better, and since I'm recording, I'd prefer not to walk around like this. I don't know, I kind of like the medium just a lot more. Just adds more contrast. As you guys can see, just a bit more contrast, which I really like. I would not recommend playing on high if you're going for max FPS. I'd recommend sticking to medium or low if you cannot handle it, if you have a lower end PC. Moving on, we do not want Vigilante, I mispronounced that, but don't turn it on. VSync, do not have that on as well. Anti-Aliasing, none. Anisotropic filtering, you see how I used that like kindergarten wording where like you sound out every part? Yeah, just put this on to 1 times. Improve clarity, I would recommend having this on because it's gonna help really differ between like the darks. So I'm gonna go ahead and load into the shooting range real quick, and we'll be able to show you guys there what this actually does. Okay, so here we are in the shooting range, and we're going to graphics quality. Improved clarity is now off. As you can see, they're just a bit blurry, but now once we turn it on, you probably won't even notice a difference, but it's a bit like darker colors that will really help players stand out. So you might as well turn this on. It shouldn't really affect your FPS too much if you want it off, but I like seeing my enemies clear, so I turned it on. Bloom, distortion, first person shadows, just turn these off. You do not need them. And then if you want to see how much FPS you have, you can go ahead, turn on text, and you can see I'm getting around like 200 or 175 FPS. But I prefer just to hide it because when I'm playing, I don't really need to see how my PCU is doing. I just want to see like how good I can get at the game. So I don't really worry about it. So I turn it off. So those were all the video settings you need to know. Now let's talk about my crosshair personally. So I have this crosshair right here. I go with the green crosshair color. I have outlines on, outline opacity at 0.0 or at 0.8, outline thickness at 1, which is the lowest. I do not like having a center dot. I feel like I can easily see people's heads right here, and if I have a center dot, then it just kind of makes it more clumped together and just really hard to see through. Center dot opacity is 1. I don't have it on, so it doesn't matter. Fade crosshair while firing, I have on. Show spectator players crosshair, it's on because I love laughing at people with terrible crosshairs. Inner line opacity 0.607, inner line length 6, inner line thickness 2, inner line offset 3, movement error off, firing error off. As you can see, if this is what it's gonna look like it's just gonna grow, and I just don't really like that in like movement. I don't want to even deal with that, so I turn these off. As you guys can see, if I do start spraying, as soon as I get inaccurate, I'm gonna come to like a darker wall. You will see that that top part of the crosshair goes away, so it tells me when I'm starting to get inaccurate. So that's one of the things that I like about my crosshair. For outer lines, I just turn everything off, and then I have the firing error on with this because it doesn't even matter, because 0, 0, 0, 0, off, on, it doesn't matter. That's my crosshair, and hopefully this video did help you out. If it did, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe with notifications on, because we're posting daily Valorant content every single day to try to help you guys improve at the game. That's going to be all for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.